Hey everybody, it's Stick Vet, your friendly neighborhood veteran, and this is part 16 of the Warriors Reflection series. I would be cut off from both beauty and pain. When you look at a beautiful sunset, your perspective about the world widens. Better yet, let's stay up late and look up at the stars on a clear night. It widens your perspective about your role in the universe. Your entire existence appears like a speck of dust compared to the grand cosmos. And for a moment, you can see the bigger picture, like the blinders of your individual experience have come off. And just as perspective expanding that simple experience is, you then turn around and an actual speck of dust flies into your eye and gets stuck under your eyelid. And now there is no universe. There is no world around you. Nothing really exists at all except for the pain in your eye and the frustrations in your failed attempts to get it out. From one extreme to another, all for a speck of dust. My first counselor taught me a core lesson that changed my entire perspective of good and evil. That evil is a form that we can interact with in three ways: as a predator, as prey, or as a witness. And through those interactions, we carry trauma in three different ways. And that war is an environment in which we interact with evil as both predator, prey, and witness all at once. These became the first demons I drew that Stick Vet carried, other than his personal relationship with death. I've talked about predator and prey a little bit, but witness is the one that I draw as a dark, inky shadow enveloping Stick Vet's head, symbolizing how this demon dominates a veteran's perspective. Witnessing the atrocities of war darkens a warrior's perspective of the world, of society, of humanity. These belief structures, shadow beliefs, are the framework for your identification of self, your role in community, and really all the opinions that you form and hold on to. The evil that we have borne witness to creates a filter that we see the world through, corrupting your perspective of the world around you. War is a great teacher, but it's only half of the lesson. Each part of my own path of growth and healing has been coming to a resolution of war trauma or coming to an understanding of my own meaning from what I did in war. Working out a trauma wasn't talking about it just to feel all those horrible emotions again. Oh, that totally happens. The point of it is to learn the other half of the lesson war was teaching you. It was almost like the nightmares that I had were because I had unfinished lessons from war that I needed to understand the point of. I already had the hard, painful experience, but I still had to do the work to actually understand what that lesson was about. I had to get over myself, that my perspective of my own experience is based on my assumptions. I needed to have an epiphany, an aha moment, where I learned about the truth of reality that my war experience brought me halfway to, each time lifting the darkness that clouded my own perception. Cleansing. It takes some humility to be the student, especially since your war experience is something so personal to you. As a veteran, your identification of self is based on what you did in service. Get around a group of vets and you will all start talking about the old days. Talking like you used to. It seems like you are holding on to the war, but in truth, the war is holding on to you, and it's still shaping your perspective. So to let go of that pride requires humility. Like, for example, the humility required to allow a civilian therapist to guide you, a combat veteran, through, let's say, EMDR therapy to help you heal your darkest war trauma. The tangible work I'm talking about in this piece is trauma therapy in some form, whether it's a counselor or in a sweat lodge. It's about re-experiencing that old trauma and following your guide to finish the lesson from it in order to find peace. Of all the work a veterans face, this is the coldest water to convince yourself to jump into. The most intense of all work I've done, though the shortest duration. Unlike most healing that requires coping skills to develop over months requiring discipline, trauma work are big events that don't need much repetition. During this time, I also listened to guidance on how to change one's perspective. Wayne Dyer was my primary teacher in that part of my life, although I'm sure there are others. He has books and recorded seminars on how to change the way you look at things. These were lessons on how to get able to let go of unhealthy perspectives, which was useful in my path, but this knowledge was not a replacement for the work that I needed to do. One might even say it was only half the battle. Until next time, this is Stick Vet, signing off.